Look like a cone head.
I can't unsee that.
Yeah. It looks so
You need to wear...
a cap, a skull cap.
No. Summer colors, which are like muted
Like gray?
blue, muted green. They're just muted. They're not bright, clear colors.
No.
They're muted a little bit.
How muted can I get?
But you're
Oh, so my hat doesn't look good? Okay, fine. You know what? I'm going backwards that today.
that looks good actually.
Denim's a good example of a muted blue. See how it's not a crisp, clear blue.
This is a fucking like stone
No.
slate blue.
Is that blue? It looks gray.
It's
Like
blue.
gray.
It's a blue with like gray in it.
Oh, okay.
It's a darker blue.
But yeah, but lighter. What you need to do is stay in the lighter range. So like that gray is probably the darkest you should go. Like you shouldn't go any darker in
I like
any
wearing
color
black.
than that. It's just that's gonna wash you out and make you
we
look
should
dead.
put you on.
Oh,
I'm
I
telling
like
you.
those shirts.
You'll immediately notice lighter. It could be light blue, like a muted pink, purple, any muted color will most likely look great on you. And all I'm saying.
Let's test it out.
I've done this since I
Fashion
was.
show.
I've done this since I was young. Remember, Yelly used to get so pissed at me. You'd be like, "How's this look?" I'm like, "Not good." You're like, "Fuck you." I'm like, then you change. I'm like,
I don't remember that.
no, you
but
can put
cool.
something else on. Yeah. What is it?
It was a gray, darker gray. Not white.
White, I think white does look good on him, but yeah, light gray will look really good on him.
Yeah. Gonna try it. So we have a new Sierra. So do you know like Sierra backpacks? Anyway, it's like a outdoor brand. Well, they opened a Sierra store in close to us, and I was like, when it first opened, I was like, why? Like, do they just have a whole bunch of Sierra gear in there? Like, what is the purpose of that store? Well, I went in there today with Amelia, and it's like a Ross, but for activewear. So, like, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, like, that's what the brands they had in there, and they were all, like, cheap.
Why are they selling?
I don't know.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's weird.
I don't get it, but I was super excited because I got the boys some new shorts
And shirts.
and shirts for summer for super cheap.
Hell yeah, man.
And some sports
I'll always
bras.
take a deal.
It's like, especially with kids, it's like they grow all the damn time.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And they ruin their stuff, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Weston, I bought him new pants, and he's already starting to wear like holes in the knees. It's like, oh my god. And their shoes, like Ben's shoes, he's probably had for maybe 2 or 3 months, and they look like he's been wearing them for a year. Like, they just look so ragged.
I'm the worst for that because I just don't care. So when the kids were around me, Riley and Josiah, I took them outside to chalk spray paint stuff, and it got all over us. And I was having the best time. And then they're like, Mom was like, "These are new clothes," and I was just like, "Okay." And she was like, "This is bad." I'm like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done this." I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, let's spray paint everything. Oh, I can do this because we're kids. And then it was like, there are real world concerns going on right now that you don't even think about, Victoria. I'm like, shit,
Especially
you're right. I didn't think about it. Yeah. But see, Frank,
still look white
it
as
doesn't
fuck.
wash you out. Well, that's because you are white.
Like, sorry.
I don't see how there's a difference, personally. I look like a cancer patient.
You do not.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
not-
It's because I freshly shaved. When I freshly shave, I look weird. Don't forget. I can't. Mhm.
Yeah. How dare you just say it like that? Just do it. Why don't you just do it? Like, you know I have
I
a
can't.
hormone disorder.
I think it's like,
Mhm. Well, British people blood too.
yeah.
British people can grow beards very well.
And who can?
Spaniards.
Who else is there?
Germans?
I thought there were only
I don't know about
British people. What the
Italians. I don't know
hell?
if Spaniards can, but I know fucking
Germans, Norsemen.
Middle Eastern.
yeah, Viking
Scotsman.
people can,
That's why Jason can, because he's German and Norwegian.
Does he ever grow a beard?
yeah. He has.
Sometimes. Some people are like really specific about it. Even like workplaces, really specific about beards. Like you can't have them, or like it seems like in the hunting, fishing, whatever community, all those dudes got beards. Like,
I know. The long beard that's like,
Yeah, the long scraggly ones.
ugh,
no,
So gross.
get out of here.
dude.
no.
It is. It just looks like a fucking net to catch.
The only I just think of how much food gets in it,
Okay.
you know?
And spit.
No one knew it was gonna get Danielle. Danielle's like, every time they sneeze, and then they just clean their face off with the bottom of the beard.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
fucking nasty. Dude. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Probably one of the viewers that we have is a dude with a really long beard, and we just lost him. It's
Dude,
like, you know
wish
what? I was giving you guys a chance. Fuck you.
Sorry.
I think we got.
Hey, listen, there's women out there that like it. We're just not those women.
I'm not a woman.
We're not those women.
Or men. We're not those
Or whatever
people.
Frank is.
Who knows?
He's not.
We got a new subscriber.
It's not.
Is it
Just
mom?
saying.
With a different email?
I don't know. There's 3 subscribers right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mom does have 3 emails.
Well, I know one's my friend. I know one is my friend who fucking hounded me about what this
Yuck!
is.
We have there's someone you know?
Dude,
I don't tell anyone.
listen,
about this.
listen. I didn't want to, and I avoided it because my buddy said it in our group chat with me and my other friend. So we had 3 of us in there.
You have group chats without Danielle and
Frankie has more friends than I do. Just saying.
No, I don't. And fucking. And then he realized pretty quickly that I wasn't gonna say it in that group chat, and so then he asked me personally, and he kept asking me, and so I finally just told him, and then he subscribed to the channel. So I know he's one. I'm guessing mom's 2, and then
I.
some random
Who
person is
knows?
3. So we have 1 real subscriber.
Potentially.
Potentially. Or
Maybe we have 1 real subscriber.
so thank you. Whoever you are.
Thank you, whoever you are. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Oh shit.
And if it's you, Mom, we love you. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
If you are using another email address to subscribe to us, appreciate it.
Actually, I'm kind of surprised. I'm surprised you were that innovative. So good job.
True. You wouldn't expect a 60-plus-year-old person to be doing that.
Mom looks so
I
good
wouldn't.
for her age.
She does.
She looks like a
does.
model. I was looking at her bone structure. I was like, that's all
I
it
mean,
is.
listen,
what
she
matters.
looks like an older woman. So
I mean, what are you talking about? Freaking goon.
No way.
I'm just saying, you're saying she looks like a model, and it's like, well, most models are in their 60s.
There are models that are in the 90s, gorgeous.
Most.
They're dead. We
Most.
just forgot about them. They were models,
Most.
and they never made it to 50.
Are
because
they still
fuck
models?
old
Are they still
Ew.
models?
Disgusting.
Are they still
That's
models?
fucking
Are
gross.
they still
Let's not talk about
models? Are they still
They're 100%
models?
are.
Yes, but most aren't, is all I was saying. Mom looks good. I'm not taking that away. It's just I go rational and I don't go over the top. I'm not going to tell you something that's not true.
Welcome to the
But
podcast.
model doesn't mean young. That's one of the biggest problems women are having these days is that we're totally looked past when we age. And it's just like we're not worth anything after we
No, that's
lose our
not.
youth.
Listen, you
Listen.
just because I know you're right. I do say it a lot. I say listen way too much and I'll stop. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So
It's not a bad thing. I just think it's funny because I'm like, where did I pick it up? And now I hear
So here's you can hold the view that hey, I'm not necessarily gonna blow smoke up people's ass, and also think women have more value than just their looks past a certain age. Because guess what? Men fucking age too, and there's not that many models that are 60 plus for men either. I'm saying most models are young, and there's a reason, is because that's at the height of our beauty, both men and women. Now, am I saying this is like we shouldn't accept people because they're not models? No, look at me, dude. Jesus Christ, where would I be? But come on, I'm different than you. That's all.
I think we should have models for every single age group.
Sick. Do
We
it.
do.
Sick. Do it. Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. We do. That's why I'm saying what?
We're arguing about nothing. We're literally arguing about nothing. So,
Mom looks great.
Welcome to the
Mom
podcast.
looks great. She does. She looks great.
She does. She looks fantastic.
She
I
does.
hope I look that good.
Yeah, me too, man. I hope I look good.
Well, we
when
have
I'm
to get a
older.
lot of peels. Just start getting the peels. And
What the fuck is that?
get
What's a peel? You
A
mean a face
chemical
mask?
peel.
A chemical
Peels
peel. And
layers
also
off your
get
face.
What? You mean the thing that like, and then it leaves your skin red after you peel it off? Dude, that looks horrifying.
Mom's done that a
Yes.
bunch.
I'm just saying it looks horrifying. That's all I said. Does it not look horrifying?
It does. That's
okay.
why
So then you agree.
But
You
there's
started out
the
acting
new
like you
one.
didn't agree.
Microneedling is
Microdermabrasion. I've had that done a couple times.
so good. I have not yet, and I'm glad that I haven't because I'm glad that I didn't freak out, really early, because some people start like when they're like 25, and it's like, dude, you don't need it. You're okay.
No, I got my first one within the last like 2 years. But
Yeah, I've been looking at it for a long time, but it works. You see, it really looks really good, but it's not as it used to be intense. That's why Mom has crazy desensitized skin, and we do not.
Correct.
Her skin's like, I come back, bro, from the brink, from the fucking brink.
I've
Like,
been
yeah,
burnt off and
I know you do.
rebuilt. Burnt off
You
and
don't
rebuilt.
even know. Ladder to success. I'm the elevator, dude. I don't even need to work. You're like, fuck.
I don't know what you guys are
It's
talking
serious.
about right now. I zoned out for 1 second.
It's like, what?
Dude, let me tell you though.
We finally found a subject where he's like, you know what?
No, I
don't
zone.
get it.
I zone all the time. I missed it, and then I came back in when you were doing an analogy of something, and I was lost. Dude, we did yoga this morning. Sweating like it doesn't. Obviously, it doesn't affect your lungs, but just sweat pouring. It was intense.
Yeah. life changing.
My butt is so sore from yoga, dude. There's this one.
Isn't it crazy when your butt muscles hurt so bad and you're just like, my ass hurts, and it sounds so bad, but you're just like, it does, really does.
There's this one that is called camel, where you have to lean back. You're on your knees and you lean back and grab your ankles.
Yeah.
So you start by grabbing your butt by having your hands in your pockets, and that right there. Like, I can just feel my butt where it's just like, it's really tight.
Wait until you freaking do the hydrants where your leg goes out, but then you like extend out and then lift and reach, and you're like, your butt is like.
No, we're doing that.
Yes, Dennis!
Yeah.
Freaking so hard.
Yeah, because she's like, feel the crease, feel the crease.
And you're like,
isn't that nice? And you're like, it's not nice.
No, really not nice. She's like, breathe into it. You're like, I'm breathing into the pain.
And then she's like, okay, breathe out and go a little deeper into your bend, and it's like.
And you're like,
lady.
I'm bending! And she's like, twist. Do a full twist. Breathe into the twist. Open your chest. You're like,
This should be humanly possible.
Yeah, there's just one girl in there that...
There's a real bendy one.
Dude, she stands there and she does where you stand on one leg, you pull the other leg behind you, you grab the inside of your foot with your hand, and you pull your leg up like a ballerina.
And you can see see the bottom of her foot, but it's like above her head back here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fucking Christ, dude?
Exactly.
You're like I love when you're not even jealous anymore. You're just like, so
no,
we just invite superheroes.
It's literally it's so impressive that you're like, this doesn't seem real.
Exactly. You're like, how do I get there?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
I don't even think that. I just think I don't need to get there. So good job.
I definitely want to get there. I don't know if it'll ever happen.
Hey, it's about the journey.
I always think I could get there. 100% I'm positive I could do it. But I'm like, am I that motivated just to be... is it an ego trip for me to get there? 100% it is. Because when I look at it, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I can't relate to it at all right now.
What's
the benefit of it?
Yeah. Why am I working this hard? Like, do I need... I mean, because I think the people that are like super into whatever sport they do, I think it becomes like a coping thing. Like that's one of their methods of dealing with life, and that's why they get so into it, because it literally is like attached to them now.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me to not be able to relate at all to what the crazy thing that person's doing, it would have to start as an ego thing where I'm like, well, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna do that. It's like, I don't want it to start that way, so I'm probably never gonna do it, and I don't care.
Yeah.
But great job. Obviously, I'm very impressed. I don't.
Very impressive.
Well, I can't. I don't. You look at it and you're just like, okay, all right. Go ahead and search in YouTube, yoga championships, and you're just like, it's insane. It's insane. You watch their bodies, you're like, nah, I don't get it. Men and women, and they're just so good.
Well, I started really getting, like, really on a really good routine on the treadmill, and because work was stressing me out, and I'm like, if you get on the treadmill, like, it'll be better. And now I can tell, like, if I don't work out for a couple days, it's like my mental health, I'm like, you gotta get going.
I know.
Gotta get back to it, because your body, like, I don't know what it is, but
we're crazy. The stress makes us crazy.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I'll feel the crazy meter going up, and I'm like,
totally.
I'm about to respond to people in a way I'm not going to be proud of, so I need to work out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Today marks day 4. Day 4 in a row.
Day 4.
Good job, you guys. That was a shitty... Yeah, that was really shitty.
That was...
He's like, day 4. He's like, there it is.
Yeah. My work beats the shit out of me. I have cuts all over my hands. They heal pretty quick. Yeah. Oh, there's no one there.
I always wondered why Frank
another
didn't go
guy.
into electrical.
To be an electrician?
Yeah. Specialized electrician.
Listen,
it makes so much fucking money.
It's not about the money. Victoria, I could have been a software engineer. They make a shit ton of money. It's not about the money.
There was something you said the other day,
Yeah,
and I'm
one
like, that
special.
fits with you.
I don't know. What's it?
Terrorist. Sorry.
Terrorist? Domestic or international? Because I like to travel.
Dealer's choice.
What was it?
It was
And I
hilarious.
Like, that sounds perfect.
I don't know.
Dang it, I think we're in the car.
I was talking about careers? A teacher?
Frank's like, I don't know.
I'm guessing here. I've talked about being a teacher.
Blogger?
Oh, were you thinking? Are you talking about not as a career, but what I could do at my current job of being a person that works with the continuous improvement? Yeah. Okay. She's confusing. So
I'm not confusing myself. I think you would be really good at.
I don't want to do that forever.
He doesn't want to do that for 1 minute, Danielle. So
No, I mean, listen, I'll do that, but I don't want to do that as a career forever. Listen, you guys know my thoughts. Let's not get into it.
You know what you should?
Climb mountains?
Hike up.
Nah.
Get people up the mountain.
No, don't. No. I like
It's
being
about
at home a
nature.
lot.
Okay, I can't help you.
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
Welcome to the podcast.
I want to be
I
a
can't help
goddamn
you. Welcome to the
writer. How about
podcast.
that?
How about that? How about you do that?
you are a
So I'm
writer.
working. Yeah, I'm working on it
I know.
with you guys.
Love it.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome
We
to the
love each other.
podcast.
I'm the sun. I'm very bright.
You look good.
Yeah, you're
Really
bright
good.
till you bring your depressing shit into our world.
Yeah. You didn't today though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't. I haven't
Listen,
tried to.
I don't blow smoke up people's ass. I keep it real. Okay.
Okay.
Don't get too high on your horse, or I'll knock you
I
out
just
of
every
stone.
time someone says every time someone says that colloquialism, blowing smoke up someone's ass, I literally imagine the ass.
visual.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, why would anyone be waiting there? Like, I'd be like, get away from me, number one, if I was the ass. if the other person, if I was blowing smoke, I'd be like, why would I put my lips near
Don't.
this ass? Not good.
What are you doing?
Careful.
No, I'm not gonna look up images. What do you?
Who knows?
You know, I actually know how to use the internet.
I don't know if you. Hi, my name's Frank, and I know how to use the
know.
internet.
If you knew how smart I was,
We definitely need to run the meetings. You like say one word. Danielle? I don't know if you know this, but I'm running the meeting, okay? You're like, sorry.
But
I'm
back in
charge
the
of this
late,
meeting today.
listen, Black.
Listen.
God. Fuck.
Listen.
listen.
We are listening, Frank.
We are.
Back in the late
Listening.
1700s, however, doctors literally blew smoke up people's rectums. Believe it or not, it was a general mainstream medical procedure used to, among many other things, resuscitate people who were otherwise presumed dead. In fact, it was such a commonly used resuscitation method for drowning victims, particularly that the equipment used in this procedure was hung alongside certain major waterways, such as along the River Thames. So that's blowing smoke up somebody's ass. I guess. That is so weird.
You
It's not even
know
somebody
what?
though. The person's dead. Fucking, it's a corpse. And they're just like,
And you're reviving them.
blow harder.
Can you imagine like getting one of those big bellows
me.
and she like
Yeah.
Yeah.
inside some dirty 1700 villager's ass. Dude, that ass would be so gross. I'm just saying, dude.
Clean it first.
I
Like, can I
do
get
you
some water?
take
There's
the
no time! There's no time! Restart the heart!
How do they get the smoke? Where does it come from?
Tobacco. Yeah, it was tobacco.
He's just like...
It would be a pipe, though. Were there cigarettes invented then?
There was tobacco smoke.
Just
yeah.
put the...
Oh, it'd be a
Put
pipe.
the whole cigarette in there! Put the cigarette inside the ass!
That's how we should start. Put the cigarette in the ass.
No, you can't.
Welcome
you can't
to
start.
the podcast.
You can't start a podcast with cursing.
Is the rectum very relaxed?
I don't even know if we can talk about rectum.
To get the smoke up there? Or are they like forceps?
Okay.
You'd be surprised at how much a rectum can stretch.
I I don't want to be surprised about it, you know. Like I don't want to
Alright,
be surprised.
Where are you going? We're gonna start
Danielle's
the podcast.
leaving now.
Where are you going?
She's done.
Um,
She was crying, laughing,
Yeah, you're welcome to.
at blowing smoke up someone's ass.
So anyway, podcast time, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, say what you're really gonna say, Frank. Listen.
No, I'm working on it. Okay, I'm not gonna say it all the time. Welcome to the podcast. This week we read "The Killing Fog" by Jeff Wheeler. Part of the.
Actually, this wasn't. We already did this podcast, but it messed up. This wasn't. And I'm a wizard. And
Whiz ain't.
we have to.
You whiz ain't.
So yeah, we have to redo this podcast. So, and I'm sick, so I'm sorry for the lackluster nature of this. Frank is
Washed out.
he's having a hard time. Don't.
I wasn't, and then I was told. Listen,
His
Frank,
hands are all
Clothes
cut up.
wrong.
Yelly's looking amazing, doing everything
Thank
right
you.
today.
I
So,
was look good.
yep.
I
So
look second good, and I look.
we'll let her take it
terrible.
away.
Welcome to the podcast. Thank you
Danielle
for being
secretly sabotages Frank, so she looks amazing, and he
Yes.
does not. She changes the settings.
She made me fucking fix the light. It's too bright.
here. I look so like shining
Like an
off
idiot.
of me.
That's what you look like, an
It is.
idiot.
An idiot. And it's like, can't
Yeah,
have that.
look like I am not gonna look like an idiot on this podcast.
That no one
Too
watches.
late. Okay.
No one
Yeah.
watching.
Or
Not gonna
listening.
We're
happen.
so happy for our one subscriber that is not someone
friend
that
or
we
family.
currently know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Potentially not a friend or family of any of us.
I think we should every
Um,
episode give a subscriber update. You know, how many subscribers?
We have
do
3.
3 right now.
3.
Wow. One's our mom.
One.
What
And
if it's
one's
every
our mom.
what if every week it's 3?
Exactly. That's the funny part. You know? That's the joke. That's the
To our 3 subscribers, hello.
Anyway, let's not.
Um,
Let's not.
If
Let's
you're,
not
but if
focus on
our
this.
if our own mom unsubscribes from us, though, you know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
We're like,
You're so bad that you
she's
can't
like,
even.
you know,
in your-
she-
Whom we do not live near. So it's like-
she's just like, I'm not. You know what? I'm just disappointed in what I've produced from my own body. You know, I can't be
Epic
reminded
fail.
of it all the time. You're like, oh no. Anyway, yeah, we already did the killing fog, but the sound messed up, and so we have to redo this again. And
My computer died, and I had to fix it, and then I had to reset up everything.
conveniently it died.
Epic crash.
Yeah, very conveniently for me. I loved it, every second of it.
Epic crash.
A big
They
crash.
haven't
Yeah.
all the trick.
Yes, I had a power outage. We realized do not plug in a treadmill and a space heater on the same outlet. Actually, the space heater was plugged into an extension cord that was plugged into the same outlet as the treadmill. The treadmill was plugged into an extension cord that was also plugged into that outlet.
Not a good.
Yeah, that all sounds really bad.
It's not great.
Let's plug really, really energy intensive things into all the outlets.
Well, into
Turn it on
extension
at once.
cords and then into the outlet. So, doesn't matter. We're redoing the episode. Here is they're not even going to see the old one. So this is the first one, The Killing Fog. You're welcome. Now, this book was written.
Aggressive.
It's the first in a trilogy.
You're welcome.
It was written by
Dicks.
Jeff Wheeler. This is not his most famous series. His most famous series is the Merwood series. Right?
Yep.
Like that.
Very
Which
good.
I have not read.
He's a Mormon.
He is a member of the Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints. And
Is that what they say?
yes,
Jesus
the Church of
Christ,
Jesus Christ of
Latter-day
Latter-day Saints. Yes, I don't know. They're whatever. I don't know. I'm not a Mormon. I don't know anything about them. But dude writes a good book. Let's say that right off the top.
Absolutely.
He did
He
used to
does,
work
yeah.
at Intel, and then he left in 2014 to write full time. And now
Like
he's written.
CIA Intel, or like Intel the. Not even funny.
It wasn't. But yeah,
It really wasn't.
it really wasn't. So, but he so far from this series, I've read all three books, so I'm a little ahead. Fantastic series, and it's not even his best one. So that we are going to talk about the killing.
What? Like this. We read Jeff Wheeler's not the best Jeff Wheeler book that we possibly could. I'm glad you know that. It's really good, but it's not the best.
It's not his most popular.
I mean,
okay,
Frankie,
it's not his
it
most
isn't
popular.
It's not very good, but we read it, and you should read it too. By the way, here's the best one he did. Like, what are we fucking saying right now?
We're letting them know
No,
about
Frankie-
Jeff Wheeler.
Frankie's point was that it's a fantastic series, and he didn't even read his best series,
His most popular. That's what I mean.
his most popular.
Not the best.
I have. I read all of it. It's all good.
It's just sounding really.
It does.
funny.
It's like- You want to read?
I'm
Suck it.
saying it's fantastic.
It is a fantastic series.
We
Very
read the
good.
third best. We're working our way up the chain of Jeff Wheeler's awesomeness.
It's because Muirwood is like 5 or 6, so
It's a lot. And there's expanded universe stuff in there.
there is. I've read them all. It's all good.
Enough about Jeff, okay?
Jeff's awesome.
So we read The Killing Fog. That's what we're here for. Okay? Alright.
So now Frank is going to give you a teaser of the book. It's just going to be the introduction and first chapter of the book, and then afterwards we're going to switch over to spoilers and talk about what we like the best. We'll notate it in the podcast of when you should stop if you don't want to listen and you want to go back and read the rest of the book. If not, continue watching for spoilers.
The Killing... And you guys feel free to jump in at any point. You guys have thoughts. Like,
Disembodied voices. Love it.
what happened?
know.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Shut your freaking mouth, everybody.
The Killing Fog by Jeff Wheeler. King May is training in her family's Kwansoon. She's waiting for her mom and dad to return. But the Dragon of Night has come early, and a storm is on the horizon, foreshadowing fucking tits, dude.
You got it. Don't worry.
Listen, I'm gonna freak a little bit.
Listen.
Fuck you. Sorry.
Get Frank a bed wine. He needs a bed wine stat.
Actually, a glass of wine would be.
You want one?
Yeah, he needs one, I can tell. And it would look good in the video too if you just sip it.
I'm waiting for Danielle.
You can start reading it if you want to practice.
No.
Okay. An old wooden ship used primarily in the Civil War era. No.
No.
Well.
Oh!
What would the station need an old wooden ship for? So.
Don't know. Hey, Lil. I'll feed Lil while I'm waiting. Hold on. You want some food, though?
You'll have some wine. I'll have some wine. We'll have some wine.
We'll have some wine. I just found out what a London fog is today. It's Earl Grey mixed with vanilla and some milk. That's a London fog.
Earl Grey mixed with vanilla?
Mm-hmm.
Vanilla what?
Flavoring.
Like vanilla syrup?
No, just vanilla, actually. Like vanilla extract, yeah.
Wow, okay. It sounds
it's a
good.
London fog, yeah. Thank you. Smells fantastic. Ooh!
Bit ya, didn't it? Bit ya a
Yeah.
little bit. Is it dry?
But it's good. Very good.
What is it?
It's Hess, their cab. I like it because it's not that
strong.
No, it's not that expensive.
Mm.
It's a good cab.
Yeah. All right, I'll try this again. The Killing Fog by Jeff Wheeler. Bing Mei is training in her family's Guansoon. She's waiting for her mom and dad to return. But the Dragon of Night has come early, and a storm is on the horizon, foreshadowing the early winter. She smells the unease and worry throughout the Guansoon, something only she can sense. As she trains, she catches the scent of her grandfather. He's worried as well. Then the scout sees the parents' party returning home. The gates are opened as Bing Mei and her grandfather rush to greet them. They see their family banner, the leopard, an ancient symbol that has been lost to time. The Guansoon that they live in was also built by someone else, some unknown, and it's another mystery. As the party draws near, Bing Mei catches the scent of evil radiating from the group. Something this foul couldn't be her parents. It's a trap. She tells them to slam the gates, but they're too late. The Qingdao, roving groups of bandits, push into the Guansoon and kill everyone. Bing Mei races to get her grandfather's saber and Maywood cricket, relics that have magical power. But as she comes back to her grandfather, Mushidi, the leader of the Qingdao, kills him. Bing Mei tries to avenge him, but ultimately fails, due to her being 12 years old. As she realizes that she's losing, she invokes the power of the cricket and leaps to safety. Months passed until the Dragon of Dawn returns, summer, during which Bing Mei lived off provisions. Hunmia, a leader of an ensign, which is just a group of mercenaries, comes to the Guansoon, and Bing Mei reveals herself to him. She sees that Kunmia is an honest person with integrity. Now we skip forward 4 years, and Bing Mei has been training with Kunmia and her companions. Currently, they are returning from trying to find artifacts for a local king. And on their way back to the kingdom, they are ambushed by the Qingdao. The leader has a magical sword that starts calling forth the fog that will give the kiss of death to any that it touches. Kunmia sees this and rushes to fight him with her own staff that drains the power of magical artifacts. She defeats the leader, but not before the fog forces them to flee, with one of their own dying to its touch. As the group is mourning the loss of their group member, Kunmia makes the difficult decision to go back for the sword, because if someone untrained gets a hold of it and invokes its power, it will destroy an entire village. She appoints Bing Mei to go and get the sword when they land on the beach. Strangely enough, Bing Mei wants to get the sword, because when the Qingdao leader drew it, she felt a connection to it, like it was hers, like she needed to hold it, and she couldn't get it out of her mind. As she found herself in the grass looking for the sword, she sees it lying there next to the leader. As soon as she grabs it, it sears to her hand and the sword glows brightly. Unmia yells out to Bing Mei, and she realizes that the fog has been summoned once again. It's a race to the boat, and as the fog is wisping at her feet, she jumps onto the boat, and the fog loses its connection to the sword. But what is this sword? Why does Bing Mei feel an attraction to it? It has a phoenix on the blade, the bird that is a ruler over other birds. But she's seen depictions of phoenixes before, so what's so special about this blade? And why don't they know anything about how their society was built and where it came from? And that is all for the first part of the Killing Fog, only the prologue and first chapter. So if you'd like to read this book, I suggest you stop listening now, because we're going to get into some spoilers.
Spoilers. Oh, don't spoil it.
Then what happens after this is Bing Mei gets the sword with Kunmia. They go back to this town called Wangfujing. That's where the local king is that was sending them out on the mission in the first place, Budai. Once there, Budai wants them to stay, obviously, as long as possible. They take Qian under their protection. Qian's the fisherman's son that his dad died when the Qingdao attacked Kunmia and Bing Mei. In that battle when they got ambushed with the sword. So now they have Qian. They're in Wangfujing. Budai then tells Kunmia, she calls her to the palace and says that they found this weird artifact and they think they found Fusang. Fusang is called the Summer Palace. It's this 1,000-plus-year-old palace that has been long forgotten a time, and it's just a legend now. There's another person there with Budai, another leader of an ensign, Bao Damanher, and he has this other guy with him. First, what you're going to think this other guy is just this local, like one of Damanher's companions, one person in his ensign, and it's actually the Prince of Sajanao, and that's another kingdom. In Sajanao, just to give a little backstory on Rowan, Sajanao is another kingdom, and that king chose Rowan's brother to be the heir. So Rowan is the second son, and he feels a little spited because of it. So now him and Dom and her are going out looking for riches. So that's why they're here. And now this fisherman found possibly Fusang. So Budai is going to send out Kunmia and Dom and her to go and find out if Fusang is real and see if there's any artifacts, because Budai is greedy and he wants to steal them. So then Kunmia says, okay, we'll do it, but who's going to lead this party? And that's when Dom and her and Kunmia fight, because Dom and her is like, Martha, you can't beat me. I'm leading this ensign. Kunmia's like, well, then I'm not going. And then Budai's like, wait. And so then they end up fighting because Kunmia is a badass and she beats the shit out of Dom and her. But Dom and her sticks to his word and he's like, I will follow under you. So both ensigns will go. Kunmia's going to lead. Now, Kunmia goes back to her Kwansoon. That's basically the special place where they're going to have their battle, or where they train, in winter. So they go and stay over the winter in this Kwansoon. That is where Kunmia tells Bing Mei, hey, this blade that they're calling now the Phoenix Blade, it had like a calling for me to give it to you. So Bing Mei is feeling attached to it, and Kunmia is saying that she feels that she needs to give it to her. So Kunmia gives it to Bing Mei, but also tells her, if you mess around, girl, I'm going to kill you. So she kind of says that. And she didn't say kill, but she said, I'll put you down. Okay.
I'll take the Phoenix sword back.
She says, if you put my ensign in danger, I will have to take you out. That's what she basically says, because she knows it's a powerful artifact. Anyway, they go back after the winter's over. They go back to Wangfujing, and it's under attack. And the Qingdao have attacked it. They stop the attack. Then this weird Qingdao guy says that he is the Dragon of Night Reborn, and that the Phoenix has chosen a new servant, and that the Dragon of Night will kill this person. Okay, this is all weird, right? Because we have that weird Phoenix sword. But whatever, they kill that guy because they're all kind of freaked out. It's a weird ghost story, and they say, all right, we're going to Fusang. So then they start heading off to Fusang, and Rowan, we learn along the way, is also attracted to the Phoenix Blade, and we can't explain why. So now we know Bing Mei and Rowan are both attracted to the Phoenix Blade, and Kunmiya wanted to give it to Bing Mei. And Rowan ends up asking Bing Mei, will you lead my ensign? Because I'm going to be, or will you lead like my kingdom or whatever? Because I am going to take back my kingdom. So somehow Rowan is like, you're trying to figure out, is he feeling attached to Bing Mei, or is he just wanting the Phoenix Blade? Like, what the hell is going on? He's starting to pay a lot of interest in her. It's very weird. We also still have Qian, who's going with this group. Qian's a very cool character, and he's proving very useful because during that winter when they were up in the Quansun before they went back to Wangfujing, he was doing ice fishing for them, and they were eating better than they ever had. Anyway, the whole party now heads off towards Fusang. Once they get there, of course, guess what's waiting? More Qingdao. Except this Qingdao is the same one, the leader of it is the same one that killed Bing Mei's grandfather and her parents.
And her whole ensign.
And all the ensign. Yes, everybody in the Quansun of Bing Mei's family at the very beginning. This is Moosh.
Literally the reason she's an orphan.
Literally the reason she's an
Mushi
orphan. Yes. So Mushi D is the one leading it. But the weird thing is he also says, I'm the Dragon of Night. My name is Eshion. I will return and I will defeat the Phoenix Chosen. Yeah. Very weird,
now
right?
We've heard this twice.
Super
now. Weird.
Two different men. Like,
two different.
What's going on here?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're both Qingdao too, which is also weird.
Yeah. So it's like, what the heck?
Yeah. What the hell's going on? And so, but either way, they captured this dude because they beat him. They capture him. And then he tells them that they're all going to die. He says all that weird stuff. But then he says, I can lead you to Fusang. You don't know what's here. I'll lead you there, I guess. And they're like, well, you're just going to lead us into a trap with your men. And he's like, you're going to die either way. And then Kunmiya's like, well, Bing Mei, listen, you get up on top and you point out where all the people are hiding. So then Bing Mei does. They basically escape all the Qingdao along the way that are hiding because Bing Mei, her special ability is she can smell emotions. That was kind of what was hinted at the beginning, was how she can sense things. She could sense worry and unease in the Quansun, and how she could smell the Qingdao when they came to attack the Quansun. Because Bing Mei can smell emotions, that's her special ability, which is what has made her such a perfect character for Kunmiya's Quansun, or ensign. Now, they get past all of the Qingdao, and they get to Fusang. And they ask Mushi D, how do we get inside? And Mushi D just says, walk inside. And you're like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, just literally walk inside. Like, no. And he's like, all right, I'll go first.
Can't be that easy.
Yep. And then he just jumps up and starts running inside. And they were all surprised because he escaped. And then
And this is literally all of it. Fusang is all inside a glacier.
Yes,
like
it's all inside a glacier.
It's freezing cold.
Way
it's like
up
literally
north.
walking into a glacier.
Yes.
And how are these people here? There's so many questions at this point. You're just like, what the heck is going on? Have we been set up? Because like we're in a really hard to like live place, but then there's a bunch of this band of marauders here somehow, and they're all sort of saying something that someone from Wangfujing said.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, and it's just mystery right now. You're like, what the heck is going on?
Yep.
Have we been set up? It sucks. It sucks right now.
Yep.
I have
Very
no idea.
weird. I feel like the scenes from Interstellar when they go to the planet with Matt Damon's character, the scientist, and it's all ice clouds. Like, that's what I feel like this glacier scene's like.
Yeah.
So
It's not
But
good.
with the mystery of like City of Atlantis, right? So like that type of mystery, but glaciers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not good.
So, leader, Mushi D, he takes off running. He runs inside the palace, and he runs past these two lions, and they're like, oh, shit. Then Chu Yi, this is one of the ensign, runs after him, and the lions jump off their perch, these bronze lions. They jump off their perch and kill her instantly. And everybody's like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
They're all freaking out for a
They're
second.
sculptures.
Yep.
So like, what's going on?
Yep. Then they figure out that they all start remembering, like, he did a weird head movement, and they realize that what Mushidi did was he bowed to the lions before he went inside. So they tried this, they bow to the lions, and they go inside, and Bing May's the last one. And as Bing May approaches the lions and bows, they look at her, and then they bow their heads. And she walks inside. And everybody's
and you're like,
what the
what
fuck? Yes.
is going on?
Yes.
Happening.
Yes. And they keep going. They're searching this place. There's these huge buildings bigger than the Quansoons that are ornate and decorative, and they look like they haven't been weathered by time at all. They're just in immaculate condition. There's some dust,
Like this place
obviously.
literally is filled with treasures.
Yes. Yeah. And
it's not supposed to exist. Like, it's supposed to be just this legendary place that's like, it's a
like
myth.
finding
It's
Atlantis
They're walking into a myth.
Finding Atlantis completely a perfect city with just
like,
dust on it, and that's it. Yeah. So there's this kind of urge that's drawing. The sword is actually telling Bing May to go this specific direction. It's kind of urging her in this direction. And what it leads them to is this specific palace, because there's multiple, that has these tombs in it. And one of the tombs is a symbol for male on it, and the other tomb is a symbol for female. And it has this urge to open the symbol for male, to open the male's tomb. So they open it up, and he has his hands like he's holding a sword, but there's no sword there. And that's when Bing May and Kun Mia and the rest of the incident are like, wait, maybe this is where the Phoenix Blade goes. And so then they put the Phoenix Blade back. And they're all like, that just felt like it, or Bing May is really the one leading all of this, because she's the one with the real a lot of the feelings of this place, like it's urging her, and she's the one like that just felt right, like it was supposed to be there. And then without even realizing it, Bing May becomes like goes into this trance and then draws a symbol onto the tomb, and it awakens the
true Eshion.
The man inside.
Awakens Eshion. This guy wakes up and says, "You've brought me back from the Grave Kingdom, and I'm thankful for it. I'm a benevolent ruler. You will be my first servants, and I will reward you for awakening me." At this point, Bing May smells him, because he has now started breathing, and he smells like Mushidi, like that death, like that rotten thing, but times 1,000, times 1,000,000. This dude is evil as evil can be. She looks at Kunmya and says, and whispers, "This dude is fucked." And so they get the hell out of there. They start running.
Word, like, quote, "This dude is fucked," unquote. That's what she says.
Yes.
And then they get out of there.
And then the song
Time to
Run
run.
plays. So they take off. They run out of there. They get stopped along the way. They have to fight a couple times. They have to fight Qing Dao and whatnot. But they do escape. They get past the lions, except the lions are trying to stop Bing May from leaving. They're saying the Phoenix Chosen must return. So they're telling this directly to Bing May. The Phoenix Chosen must return. And they won't let her leave. And so then Bing May sends the rest
Does
of
she
the
have the
ensign.
sword again? She doesn't.
She doesn't. Eshion now has the sword. Eshion now has the sword. So Bing May tells the rest of the ensign to leave, and she gets around the lions, and they all escape. They get out of there. Once they get back to the boat where Dom and her and Rowan were waiting, they're like, "Dude, we got to get out of here." And so they, yes,
right on board, dude.
Yep.
Let's go.
They take off, and Dom and her and Rowan are both like, they're asking questions, of course, like, "Wait, what did you find? Who did you awaken? What happened?" And they're like, "We don't have time for this, okay? We gotta go. He's evil." They're like, "We can't trust this little girl." And that's when
No
Bing
time
May,
to explain.
yep, and Bing May then has to reveal that she can smell people's emotions, and it's this. She's never told anybody this before, and the whole group's like, "What the?"
She doesn't reveal how she can do it. She says, "I can sense people's
Just
emotions."
what she can do, not why and how.
And how.
She
She says, "I can sense people's emotions."
tells them.
She doesn't say she can smell. That doesn't come out till like.
I think you're wrong. So they get the hell out of there, and as they are, Bing May has this vision. She's back in the palace. she sees Eshion. Eshion, as a leader of the Qingdao there, it's Mushidi, and he's saying, go and find the Phoenix Chosen. Bring her back to me again. And he gives Mushidi the sword, the Phoenix Blade. And then Bing Mei is sitting on those words again. What's he mean by again? Bring her back again. She keeps hearing that replay. Then they make it all the way back to Wang Fujing. This is where Budai is, who sent them there in the first place. As soon as they get back there, they're going to tell Budai, they're going to warn him, this guy woke up. He is this, he's an awful, he seems like an awful person. Watch out. But the problem is, in Budai's guard is this imposter. Actually, Eshion has already made it there, and he is inhabiting the body.
This
of
is
one
like
of his dudes.
this was a terrifying moment too,
Right?
because
Like,
the way they wrote it was like, I didn't know how we could outrun this person, but I thought we surely have,
Mhm.
because we got out of there so quick.
Yep.
But then I realized he's a dragon and he can fly,
Yep.
and you're like, shit, dude, like he can, as the crow flies, just get there.
Yep.
Terrifying.
And
So he
who
got
knows
there
what other
before
magical powers he has at this point, right? So he has inhabited a dude in Budai's palace, and that's when they're telling Budai, they're trying to get him alone. They get him alone and say, dude, your palace is overrun. We're getting the hell out of here too. This dude woke up. He's terrible. And that's when Budai, this greedy dude, this greedy king is saying, you have to protect me. You swore an oath, all this crap, trying to make them stay. And they're like, you're an idiot. So they leave, and they're going now to Sajanao. This is where Rowan's from. They head all the way to Sajanao, and they're thinking that they're just going to kind of sneak into the city. Well, they're welcomed by the royal family, so they knew they were coming somehow. This is where Rowan meets with the family, and it's kind of a weird meeting. But
yeah, one of the big things here is everyone's wondering as they're going to Sajinao, like, what is Rowan's deal? Like,
Yeah.
why does he have a problem with his brother and
Yeah.
his father?
Yeah.
And of course, they've only gotten Rowan's perspective. So Rowan tells them before they get there, like, well, my brother is just like my father, and they're both not going to make hard, decisive actions of war or anything like that. They're just going to kind of toe the line and keep everything civil and peaceful, and I don't agree with that. So I don't like them. So I left. And you're like, okay, that sounds kind of immature or whatever. We're kind of slowly figuring out that Rowan kind of had a little bratty moment and was like, well, I'm 15, Mom, so I know what I'm doing with my life, and ran away from home.
Yeah.
Like, that's the situation right now.
right.
Yeah.
And so they're going back like, okay.
Yep. Now the cool thing when they get back is that there's this guy there named Jiri Maja. This guy, what we haven't said about Being May, is she has this thing called the winter sickness. The winter sickness is having really, really white skin, whiter than me, the cancer patient. Sorry, I'll cut that. This is having really, really white skin, whiter than me, and having white hair as well. And this guy, Jiri Maja, Jiri Maja.
Jiri Maja.
Jiri Maja. That's what I'm saying.
Jiri Maja.
This guy also has the winter sickness, and he's the advisor to the king of Sajanao. Now, the king of Sajanao is actually away right now, and they can't find him. And so the brother is currently leading the city. His name is Jushin. So they end up at dinner that first night. They welcome everybody back. There's no hard feelings, really. I mean, Rowan.
Yeah, everyone's surprised. Like, the way Rowan talked about his relationship with them, we shouldn't be being invited
Right.
back, but okay.
Because they're almost
Yeah.
showing like signs of relief of like, oh, thank gosh he returned. Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the way he described it was like, I've been an asshole, so we are expecting a totally different reception
Yeah.
than what's going
It's
on.
a
So everyone's just
one-sided
kind of like,
conflict.
okay.
It's Rowan has the conflict.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're-
literally a one-sided conflict.
Yeah,
It's
I
literally
mean-
the 15-year-old child that's like, I know what I'm doing, Mom. Whatever.
But the
Coming
cool
back
part,
to like, Mom, like, do you
Yeah.
want some dinner? Like, jeez.
I'm
This,
hungry.
the coolest part about this whole thing of going back to Sajanao is Jiri Maja is the one that tells them the story of Eshion and how he was the first ruler. He's the last ruler. He's the one that built all this ancient stuff, and he is basically evil reincarnated, evil incarnate. And Jiri Maja went to all these shrines to have these visions, and it wasn't until he got to this one that was dedicated to the phoenix that he had this really insightful vision to see Eshion in his true form. And then he also says that there's also a phoenix, and that it chooses a person to fight Eshion, because Eshion comes back stronger every goddamn time, and he keeps trying to rebuild civilization how he wants it, but it's terrible and nobody likes it because he's a horrible person. He's a dictator. But this Phoenix chosen can defeat him, and that is what Bing Mei is. Because guess what happened to Bing Mei's hair after she revived Eshion? It's freaking copper amber sort of now. It's like a phoenix color. And Bing Mei is now the Phoenix chosen. And the only way, this is what Jiri Maja tells her, the only way to save everybody is she has to go beyond the death wall and sacrifice herself for the greater good of everybody else. And what's Bing Mei say? Ain't gonna do it. She's having no part of it, and she's saying, I'm not doing that. And basically for the rest of the moment in Sajana, all of the Sajana, the Jiri Maja, what's his name? Jushin. And those two, Aomin doesn't, I don't think she pressures her as much. It's really Jiri Maja and Jushin. Those two pressure the hell out of Bing Mei to sacrifice herself, which of course makes sense, because it's like, hey, you could save the entire race of us if you sacrifice yourself.
But imagine like you sitting there right now listening to this, and someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, thank God you showed up. If you just throw yourself off this bridge, you're gonna save us all. And you're like, what? like, no, I don't want to do that. No thanks, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah.
So no. So it's kind of understandable that Big May's like, are you sure that's the only way that I can succeed here is to kill myself? I mean, props to her for not herself. Just being like, sure.
It's not
it's
just
a big deal.
But yeah, it is a big deal. I get it. What ends up happening after that is Bing Mei does have a vision. She keeps seeing Mushidi. She now has a connection to him, and they can kind of see each other. He comes to Sajana, along with Eshion is coming to Sajana to defeat it. Bing Mei leaves with Damanhur and Rowan. They try and go up the mountain. Guess what? Captured by Qing Dao. The Qing Dao take Rowan away. Bing Mei and Damanhur are there just sitting in captivity. They're about to go, they're just hanging out, and then the Qing Dao that captured them take them outside of the caves that they were in to say, now watch Eshion capture Sajana. So basically delight in their horror as the city falls. As that happens, this really cool guy named Ji Awa, he is the leader of the spy network of Sajana. He's another trusted advisor to the king of Sajana, but he deals in like the lies and the deceit, and he's trying to understand everything that's happening behind closed doors.
He's like the undercover detective of the situation.
Yeah, and he comes up with his agents and rescues Bing Mei and Damanhur. Although remember, Rowan was taken away. They escape with Qian. They barely escape Mushidi. They go back down towards Sajana, and that's where we see basically Eshion. They escape. They're kind of in the sewers of Sajana, and then they see that Eshion has captured the city, and he's about to execute Rowan. So they end up on this scene in the sewers watching this happen. And the big thing that happens here is Jushin sacrifices himself for his brother. He stops the sacrifice, says, I will trade my life for my brothers if you will let me. And Eshion's like, a life for a life is good enough for me. And so they switch places, and Eshion immediately executes the brother. And Rowan, who has been fighting with his brother the entire time, has this tremendous amount of guilt. Then Mushidi shows up and points out Bing Mei hiding and saying she's right there. Now the chase begins again. Mushidi is chasing Bing Mei in the sewers with Qian, with Damanhur, and with Jiawa, and they
Isn't it like
luckily-
Jewish? Never mind. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird name. Jiawa, I think is the way you pronounce it.
It's
But it's spelled like
It's not sounding right.
Jaioua.
it's not.
Jiawa? Jiawa?
Jiao.
Jiao?
I think it's Jiao.
I think there's a little
something
A
like
on
that.
I think there's a little A on the end though. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so they Bingmei, Guion, Jiawa, Damanher, they escape Mushidi. Mushidi does end up taking Damanher's arm, but Bingmei puts him down because Mushidi has that
They
Phoenix
take his
blade.
right arm. They take
Yep.
Damanher is a sword
Dominant
master,
arm. Yep.
and they take his dominant arm.
Yep. Well, Mushidi
So-
does, yeah. Then
Dang, dude.
Mushidi, but the coolest part is Mushidi is about to kill Guion. He's holding Guion hostage and Bingmei has taken out all of his Queen Dao around her, and he's about to kill Guion. And then Bingmei feels a surge of power in her that she felt before, felt that longing for the blade, and she goes, "I think you have my sword." She holds out her hand, and it flies from Mushidi's hands into her hands, and it's like, bitch. And she
I'm gonna.
yes. So they have to fight a little bit because Mushidi has been given the power by Eshion to kind of like go in between smoke and not smoke. And she does end up taking him out, and she's just about to kill him, and then remembers Kunmya has been telling her this whole time that revenge will not give you any satisfaction. And
It doesn't make anything right.
Yep.
To get revenge doesn't make anything go better in the future.
Yep.
It just makes things worse.
Yep. And Bingmei saves Mushidi, and Bingmei and Mushidi is basically stunned by it. Doesn't understand why she would do that. Then he tries one last ploy to kill her, and she knocks him out. Then those four, Guion, Damanher, Bingmei, and Jiao, they escape, and they go back to Kunmia's ensign. Once they get there, some of the ensign is waiting there. It's Marenko and Miyashi are
Miyashi.
waiting there. And as soon as they get there, they realize that Kunmya, she actually sacrificed herself. When they discovered that Bingmei was watching the execution of Jashin, that Kunmya threw herself at Eshion to basically stop him from trying to attack Bingmei. And Kunmya has died. And now she has given the staff to Bingmei. She told Marenko with her last breath, "You need to give this to Bingmei. She's going to be the leader of my ensign. She's been preparing her for it." And she doesn't, and Kunmya doesn't care if Bingmei goes and sacrifices herself for the death wall to do what's in her heart, to do what she feels is right. And Kunmya would support her all the way, which obviously brings Bingmei to utter desolation and tears. And after that, Bingmei realizes that they need to leave and warn the other kingdoms. She goes up to the Phoenix Shrine one more time. And that's how the book ends, besides the epilogue. In the epilogue, now Bingmei is with the new ensign in Kunmya, or with the ensign at Kunmya's old place. And they're going to leave and tell the other kingdoms. Back at Saginaw, in the epilogue, we learn that Rowan, the prince, was captured by Eshion. His brother gave his life for him. And he's about to kill Rowan because he's just saying, "What can you do for me?" to people. And if they can't do anything for him, Eshion kills him. So he's saying that to Rowan. And he says, and Rowan says back to Eshion, "Well, I can tell you where Bingmei's at because I have an attraction towards the Phoenix Blade and she has it, so I can lead you to her." And Eshion spares his life and says, "Well, then you will do my bidding and you will find Bingmei and bring her back to me." And that's how book one ends.
And the only thing I want to point out is that right when they were at Fusong, they had just revived Eshion. He comes to life. Bingmei is realizing that he's a murderous, evil person times a million. When they're trying to escape, they see him draw things in the air. It's like
Yeah.
he's writing in the air. And one thing I want to point out is nobody knows how to read or write.
Yep.
Like they don't
It's a
do that
lost
here.
art.
It's a totally lost thing to them. So it's like when they see him do this, they think he's just that powerful that he is like enacting magic in front of them by drawing like symbols in the air, which is what he does to empower people like Mushidi to be smoke and to be like formless, and formless. And so I just like that's the height of the power that Eshion has right now is it's totally beyond their comprehension. Like imagine you can't read, you can't write, and you see someone not only writing, but it has force and power to it. Like he
And it can
knows
turn
all
into a
these
dragon.
old things.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one thing too, is when they went to Fusang, one of the biggest relics that they saw there was this huge disc that showed two dragons, black and a white dragon.
Huge tablet.
Yeah, yeah. And they see these two dragons sort of facing each other, and that's common throughout their history. Even though they don't know their history, they have seen this depiction of two dragons before, and nobody really knows what it's all about. But
But they called Eshion the Dragon of Night.
Right.
Yes.
So we
Dragon
know that.
of Night. So we're like, okay.
Now maybe
we know there are two tombs, but only the male was woken up. So we're
what's
getting
the other
something
one?
new.
What's the other one? And the other thing is the phoenix is kind of that golden color. So she the Dragon of Dawn, the phoenix. Don't know, right?
We
We're
don't know.
trying to figure out what the hell is happening, because they also say that the Dragon of Night, I believe it represented the masculine form of Yang. Yang is what they said. And so it's like, well, maybe being May is the Dragon of Dawn, because she has the phoenix colors, which are very dawnish. So I don't. It's you have to read the other books to find out.
Lots of questions.
Gosh damn, this series, seriously, it grabbed me. This first book, very good. Book 2 is my favorite, but book 3 is also very good.
Yep.
But book 2, it's fantastic. Anyway, we're talking about book 1.
Yeah, we're talking about 1.
Any
good.
Any additional thoughts, guys? What did you? I mean, how was my summary? How fantastic was that? Let's get some compliments.
Let's
get the compliments rolling it in.
Yeah, only compliments, please.
Yes.
Well, what I want to hear from Yelly is
why is she the way that
what
she
did you
is?
find the most? Yeah, why are you like you are?
You know, I think it has a lot.
What
to
decides?
do with
What
my...
makes you? What makes you want to be
balance?
so far away from the mic when you speak?
Yeah.
Like, what is it about you?
I think it's the
Idiocy?
generation that I was
Low
born
IQ.
in.
Sorry.
I do want to hear from Yelly though, because that was a lot of Frank talking. You know.
Because
I was
it's
asked to do
it's
this.
just
I
been
was asked to
too
do
much,
this.
Frank.
I was asked to do this.
A lot of Frank. But no, I want to hear based on, because you've read his other books.
Yes.
And so I'm just wondering the difference. Yeah. Like what did you?
It is different because I think it focuses on a different lore. Like these 3 books focus on a different lore, whereas like the Mirrorwood series focus more on like druids and more earthy lore.
This is more fantastical lore.
Yeah, and there are nods though, which I think is fun to his other series. So just fun fact, there are nods. So if you do read some of them, or you have read the Mirrorwood series, this book has a couple of nods where you go, oh yeah, that matches up with some of his other lore that he brings in.
He's recycling ideas.
It's supposed to be fun. Why you have to be such a downer?
Frank's the killer. Frank is the killer
today. But it's just fun because there's the Mirrorwood series, his other series are really good. And so it's fun to see some of those nods come into this book, even though it's totally different. It's a totally different type of book. So that's awesome. And then just, I love the characters, how they grow throughout the series too, and how important they are, and some that you are kind of like side characters, how they turn into a very big main character. I love the character build.
Well, and I love how this book really highlighted with Kun Mia's character leading into being Mei's character, and then finally, you know, it goes on with what the Phoenix means. But I love how Kun Mia is powerful, and they really highlight that she is a badass in her feminine nature. They do not make her masculine in any way. Like, they make her a protective mother figure over her ensign, but they make that cool.
Yeah.
And we don't see that a lot. A lot of times it's like being a very masculine kind of violent,
like you would think of
only caring about
Khal
like,
Drogo. Khal Drogo is a masculine leader of his, of the I want to say Khaleesi, but that's obviously the name of the dragon lady. They call her. What's his band of whatever Game of Thrones? What do they call him?
whatever, Game of Thrones. Why did I start talking?
Well,
I don't
Khal
know.
Drogo. You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so is Khaleesi,
ruthlessness,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
But it's awesome how with Kun Mia, her main drive, her main motivation is protection of her ensign, and
At all
showing them
costs.
all that connectiveness, togetherness, and their personal relationship to each other is what matters most and what makes them strong. And so it's lovely to see someone like highlight that as this is a badass character that we love, that we want to see keep being awesome. I loved that about Jeff Wheeler, that we just don't see it a lot, and it was really cool. Kun Mia made me really feel like I want to be a part of her ensign, dude. Like,
right. Well, in
I
the
want her to
wisdom,
be like,
right?
you're awesome.
The wisdom she shares about revenge and it doesn't get you anything, and she is a really cool character. There's just
Yeah.
really good character.
Yeah, she teaches Bing Mei a lot, which is, hang on, we're right in the
Down
middle
here,
of this.
2.5 hours. Okay.
We're almost done.
We're doing it.
So yeah, you like
Which
Kun Mia,
character did
Chitara?
you love the most? Can we let's talk about more just characters. Be more specific.
Eshion.
That's a good answer. Eshion is a really
is.
interesting character.
He is actually, but not so much in this book as in the other books where you learn a little more about him.
Yeah.
But this book, you don't get to learn as much about him. In this book, my favorite character. Oh, probably Kun Mia, because Bing Mei is a bit whiny. She's young. She's 16 in this book, 12 at the very beginning, then 4 years later, so 16.
Yeah, she's a 16-year-old emo
Yeah.
orphan.
That has to now have the weight of the world on her shoulders. Typical sort of, story with heroes. Yeah, she's gonna be a little, whiny and whatnot. So she annoys you a
Understandable.
little bit of like, just do it, you dumb broad. But I get it. And Kun Mia is so loving and protective of her.
Not exactly what I was thinking, but yeah.
But Kun Mia is my favorite, absolutely, because she is a badass. She has that motherly protectiveness over her ensign. She can fight she beat Dom and her, who's supposed to be this humongous badass that had this long hair.
She's kind of the main character in this first book.
Yeah, Kun Mia
A
is
little bit.
like the secondary main character. I would say
She's the paragon. She's the paragon option in this first book,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. She's
Right.
not confused. She's very sure of her purpose.
Yep.
She's like, I'm going to be a good person,
Yep.
and I'm going to, even if it costs me, I'm going to do the right thing. And
Yep.
so you're really cheering her on, like, hell yeah, dude.
Yep. So she was my favorite, honestly. But obviously, lots of cool characters.
Yeah. All the characters were cool. Right now we've got Mia Shi trying to act like she doesn't care that Dom and her is so into her. Dom and her like saw Mia Shi and was like, bitch, you're my bitch now. And Mia Shi's like, no, I'm not. Shut up, Derek. And Derek's like, fuck you, dude. And Mia Shi's like, stop. That's what we're dealing with at this moment.
That was exactly what
That's
it was. too.
literally the characters.
Yeah, and they're all flirting with each other constantly. It's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
love
suck,
gross.
you stupid loser. Yeah.
The
fall in love.
other cool thing was when
Don't be
Queon
gross.
gets the snow leopard. At the very end, he gets the
Queon
snow
is
leopard.
Dude.
one of my favorite characters.
Queon's cool, but he gets cooler.
He does. His character progression is awesome.
Yeah.
Right now, the way that we know about Queon is he just had his father die, and yet he's still so like grounded, that he's doing a bunch of shit for the ensign and being like open to new experiences. So it's like, as far as we know, he's just extremely honest, chill, laid back dude who knows how to be a fisherman,
Is super
aka
resourceful.
knows rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's into
If it involves rope,
BDSM.
he's gonna get the job done. Yeah.
Well, and just like his
He'd be
survival
Shibari
skills.
Master level 10.
I don't know what that means.
Either.
But he's a very cool character.
Very cool.
It's BDSM rope skills.
Sick.
Japanese
dude.
BDSM rope skills.
Oh Lord.
So listen, this series, and I'm telling you, book 2 is even better.
It's not sexual. It's rope skills.
Book 2 is
it's not
even
sexual.
okay. Listen, ladies.
They just
Listen, ladies.
about
This is me
levitation,
cutting
but
the
they're not-
rope.
They're not
The
naked.
rope has been cut.
I'm just saying, just
It's
because
cut.
BDSM's in the
It's
title
cut.
doesn't mean it's sexual. Okay?
Well, it kind of is. So
No,
Listen,
it's not.
listen,
Oh, okay.
listen,
This isn't the time.
listen. I used it.
Stop saying
I used it. That means I'm serious now.
No, it's serious.
it. I'm very
Listen.
serious right now.
Book 2 is a fantastic. Book 2 is called The Buried World. I wonder what that's going to be about. Dun, dun, dun. So that's what
I've
we'll
read
be
it
doing.
and it drags on. I'm not as into it as Frank's into it. It just drags on. I got really bored a lot during the book.
Her IQ is
Um,
35, so don't listen to her. She can't
Sorry, we're
read.
trying to promote them to listen, one, to the podcast when we talk about book 2, and
Three's
two,
three's better.
No,
That's
it's
all I'm
not.
saying.
It's not better. I disagree
you know what? This is my
strongly.
opinion.
Three
and I'm
drag
just saying
three drug a little bit for me, a little bit, but it was still good because I wanted to know how it ended, and there was some really good parts.
The
in
beginning of book 2, you have to get through like I don't know how many chapters of being in ice caves that I was just bored the whole time. Like I'd rather be dead than listening to this. But then we get past it. It's like thank God I don't want to be in an ice cave anymore. This fucking sucks.
it. Victoria's what you call an empath. So this was book 1, The Killing Fog. Next we'll be reviewing The Buried World. If you wanna read along, read those books whenever order.
If you want to
fucking
read
choose.
along,
And the last
you
one's
just
called
keep doing this
The
motion
Immortal
that Frank
Words.
does. If you want to read along,
I'm trying to end this
please
goddamn
join us
podcast. 'cause
next
I'm done.
week.
I'm so done. I'm out of here. Okay.
we love you guys. Thanks for
thank
listening.
you for listening. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and comment.
Can we please get one more subscriber? 4? Can we get 4, please? Someone?
Can you
Anyone.
I'm
please,
good with 3.
Can you please not have us say
Subscribe.
we have 3 subscribers next week?
Okay, I will.
We have one more at least.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.